We don't need luck to defeat the Zuma warriors. We are Noma. We shall kill them all and take over their land. Her name was Princess Chidima. She was fearless, bold, and extraordinarily beautiful, a perfect embodiment of African beauty. Tall, with smooth, dark skin, a curvy figure, and clear, bright eyes, Princess Chidima's beauty was renowned across the 7 neighboring kingdoms. But so was the tale of her arrogance. Princess Chidima, daughter of King Ifekandu, had everything she ever wanted. Raised without her mother, Queen Nena, who died when Chidima was just 8, she was spoiled by her father and the palace servants. King Ifekandu was exceedingly wealthy, owning vast lands where his slaves tended to his numerous herds of cows, sheep, and goats. He claimed ownership of everything within his kingdom of Noma, and anyone who defied him met a swift execution. Over the years, King Ifekandu conquered neighboring kingdoms, spreading his cruelty and tyranny far and wide. Despite his ruthless nature, he never remarried after Queen Nena's death, but was notorious for abusing his female slaves and terrorizing his male slaves. This malevolence profoundly influenced Chidima, who grew to be as arrogant and inconsiderate as her father. At 20, many noblemen sought her hand in marriage, but the warrior princess deemed herself superior to everyone in her father's kingdom and beyond. She couldn't imagine herself under any man's authority and desired to remain in her father's grand palace forever, where servants attended to her every whim. The thought of marriage disgusted her, and she vowed to stay unmarried for life. King Ifekandu indulged her every whim, seeing her as the apple of his eye and the sole heir to his kingdom. He fiercely protected her, even blinding male servants who dared to look at her. A special guard ensured that men of non-noble birth paid with their sight if they so much as glanced at her. Princess Chidima believed her father would live forever, that her life of luxury and power would never change. But one fateful day, everything shifted. It was a hot afternoon, and Chidima was in her chamber, having just returned from her private river bath. She sat majestically, surrounded by servants who adorned her hair with expensive beads and moisturized her skin with fragrant oils. Suddenly, a servant burst into the room without permission, startling her. Enraged by the servant's audacity, Chidima jumped up, delivering a hard kick to the servant's stomach, followed by a slap. "What could be so important that you barged into my chamber?" she demanded, fuming. The servant, writhing in pain, struggled to speak. "His Majesty seeks your presence immediately, my princess," she stuttered. Chidima, still angry, dismissed the urgency. "It can wait. He is my father. I can see him whenever I like." "No, my princess, it cannot wait," the servant insisted. Princess Chidima was about to punish the servant further when her father, King Ifekandu, rushed into her chamber, looking more worried than she had ever seen him. "My jewel, we must leave Noma immediately," he declared. "Leave Noma? Why, father? What is happening?" she asked, her voice tinged with worry. "Our kingdom is under attack by the warriors of Zuma, and luck is not on our side this time," he replied hurriedly. Princess Chidima scoffed. "We don't need luck to defeat the Zuma warriors. We are Noma. We shall kill them all and take over their land." Despite her bravado, King Ifekandu knew they were unprepared. He led her through a secret route in the palace, determined to keep her safe. He entrusted her to Kenechukwu, his most trusted servant, instructing him to hide her. "Father, I can fight. Let me stay," Chidima pleaded, but he ignored her protests and led her to Kenechukwu. "Kenechukwu, protect my daughter with your life," King Ifekandu commanded. "My jewel, remember that I love you more than my own life," he said, his voice breaking with emotion. As Kenechukwu led Chidima into a hidden tunnel, the sounds of battle grew louder. The palace was already half destroyed, and King Ifekandu joined his warriors in the fray, fighting with all his might. He was a formidable warrior, his sword cutting down enemies left and right. But then he saw something that broke his spirit. Prince Arinze of Zuma approached, dragging a chained and disheveled Princess Chidima. "Behold your daughter, now a slave of Zuma," Prince Arinze taunted. King Ifekandu, enraged, tried to fight but was overpowered. "Kenechukwu betrayed us," Chidima cried. King Ifekandu's heart sank. Kenechukwu, whom he had trusted, had turned against him. As the Zuma warriors restrained him, he watched helplessly as Prince Arinze humiliated his daughter. "Your reign of terror ends today, King Ifekandu," said King Obinna of Zuma, stepping forward. "You will watch as we ravish your daughter and your kingdom falls." King Ifekandu's anguished cries echoed through the palace as the Zuma warriors overpowered him, marking the end of Noma's reign of terror. Princess Chidima, now in chains, faced an uncertain future. Her once luxurious life was shattered, and as she looked at her defeated father, she realized that her arrogance had led them both to this tragic end. Bound and humiliated, Princess Chidima stood before the jeering Zuma warriors. Her regal garments torn, she was a shadow of the arrogant princess she once was. Her heart filled with a mix of fear and rage as she watched her father, King Ifekandu, dragged away to face his own fate. Prince Arinze of Zuma, with a smug smile, approached her. "Your reign of terror is over, princess," he said, his voice dripping with mockery. "Now you will see what it means to be truly powerless." But Chidima was not one to surrender easily. Despite the chains, her spirit remained unbroken. "You may have captured me, but you will never break me," she spat back. Prince Arinze laughed. "We shall see." Chidima was taken to a dark, damp cell in the dungeons of Zuma. The once grand princess now faced the harsh reality of her captivity. Her mind raced with thoughts of escape and revenge. She knew she had to bide her time and regain her strength. She would not remain a prisoner forever. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Chidima endured the harsh conditions of her cell, but her spirit never wavered. She began to form alliances with other prisoners, earning their trust and respect with her unwavering determination and courage. Among them was Nkechi, a skilled healer from a neighboring kingdom, and Emeka, a former warrior of Noma who had been captured years ago. Nkechi tended to Chidima's wounds and shared stories of her own struggles. "We all have our battles to fight," she told Chidima one night, "but we must never lose hope." Emeka, on the other hand, provided Chidima with valuable insights into the Zuma warriors' routines and weaknesses. "They may be strong, but they are not invincible," he said. "If we plan carefully, we can escape." Chidima listened intently, formulating a plan. She knew that to reclaim her kingdom and her dignity, she needed more than just strength. She needed allies and a strategy. One night, as the full moon cast an eerie glow over the dungeon, Chidima gathered her newfound allies. "The time has come," she whispered. "We will escape tonight." Nkechi and Emeka nodded in agreement. They had spent months preparing for this moment, gathering supplies and information. The plan was risky, but it was their only chance. As the guards made their rounds, Chidima and her group moved stealthily through the shadows. They overpowered the guards, using the element of surprise to their advantage. With Emeka's guidance, they navigated the labyrinthine tunnels of the dungeon, finally emerging into the cool night air. Freedom was within their grasp, but Chidima knew their journey was far from over. "We must find my father and the remaining loyalists of Noma," she said. "Only then can we reclaim our kingdom." Their escape did not go unnoticed. Prince Arinze, furious at the breach, ordered a massive search for the fugitives. "Find them and bring them back, dead or alive," he commanded. As Chidima and her group made their way through the dense forests surrounding Zuma, they encountered numerous challenges. They faced wild animals, treacherous terrain, and relentless pursuers. But Chidima's leadership and determination kept them going. One night, as they rested by a hidden stream, Emeka spoke up. We need more than just our small group to reclaim Noma. We need an army. Chidima nodded. We must seek out the other kingdoms that suffered under Zuma's rule. They will have no love for Prince Arinze and his father. Together, we can form a coalition strong enough to defeat them. Their journey took them to the neighboring kingdom of Udala, where they sought an audience with King Obina, a wise and just ruler who had long been at odds with Zuma. Chidima presented her case, appealing to his sense of justice and honor. "Your Majesty, Zuma has oppressed us all," she said, "but together we can put an end to their tyranny. Join us, and we will reclaim our lands and our freedom." King Obina, impressed by Chidima's courage and determination, agreed. "You have my support, Princess," he said. "We will stand together against our common enemy." With the support of Udala, Chidima's coalition grew. They recruited warriors from other kingdoms, all united by a common cause. Chidima trained alongside her newfound allies, honing her skills and preparing for the battle ahead. As the coalition army marched towards Zuma, Chidima felt a renewed sense of purpose. She was no longer the arrogant princess of Noma. She was a leader, a warrior, and a symbol of hope for all those who had suffered under Zuma's rule. The final battle was fierce. As the sun rose over the battlefield, Chidima stood victorious. The coalition army cheered, their cries of triumph echoing through the valley. The tyrannical rule of Zuma was over, and a new era of peace and justice had begun. Chidima returned to Noma, where she was hailed as a hero. She vowed to rule with wisdom and compassion, honoring the sacrifices of those who had fought alongside her. The once arrogant princess had transformed into a true queen, a beacon of hope and strength for her people. With Zuma's defeat and peace restored to Noma, Princess Chidima, now Queen Chidima, focused on rebuilding her kingdom. She worked tirelessly, ensuring that the people of Noma felt safe and prosperous once more. Yet amidst the celebrations and the newfound peace, Chidima felt a lingering unease. There were questions left unanswered, and secrets from the past that still haunted her. One evening, as she walked through the palace gardens, she was approached by Nkechi, the healer who had become one of her closest confidants. "Your Majesty," Nkechi said, bowing slightly, "there is something you should know." Chidima looked at her curiously. "What is it, Nkechi?" Nkechi hesitated for a moment before speaking. "There are whispers among the people, whispers about a hidden truth regarding your mother's death." Chidima's heart skipped a beat. The death of her mother, Queen Nena, had always been shrouded in mystery. "What do you know, Nkechi?" she asked, her voice trembling slightly. "During our time in the dungeon, I met someone," Nkechi began, "an old woman named Adana. She claimed to have been a servant in your mother's chambers. She says she knows the truth about Queen Nena's death." Intrigued and anxious, Chidima arranged to meet Adana in secret. The old woman, frail and bent with age, was brought to the palace under the cover of night. "Your Majesty," Adana said, bowing deeply, "I am honored to stand before you." "Tell me what you know about my mother's death," Chidima demanded gently. Adana took a deep breath, her eyes filled with sorrow. "Your mother, Queen Nena, did not die of natural causes. She was poisoned." Chidima's eyes widened in shock. "Poisoned? By whom?" Adana hesitated. "By someone very close to the throne. Your father, King Ifakandu, discovered the truth too late. It was one of his trusted advisors, a man named Ezeki." "Ezeki?" Chidima repeated, trying to recall the face of the advisor. "But why would he do such a thing?" "Power," Adana replied. Ezeki believed that with the queen gone, he could manipulate the king and control the kingdom from the shadows. Chidima's mind raced with this revelation. "And what happened to Ezeki?" "He fled, Your Majesty," Adana said. "But he is still alive, hiding in the shadows, waiting for his chance to strike again." Determined to uncover the full truth and bring Ezeki to justice, Chidima called upon her most trusted allies. Emeka, now a key member of her council, pledged his loyalty to her cause. Together, they set out to track down the treacherous advisor. Their search led them to the remote corners of the kingdom, where they encountered various challenges and dangers. Along the way, Chidima discovered more about her mother's life and the sacrifices she had made for the kingdom. Each revelation strengthened her resolve to honor her mother's memory and protect her people. In a hidden village deep in the forest, they finally found Ezeki. The once powerful advisor was now a shadow of his former self, living in fear and isolation. When confronted by Chidima, he tried to flee, but Emeka's swift actions prevented his escape. "Ezeki," Chidima said, her voice cold and commanding, "you will answer for your crimes." Ezeki, trembling, fell to his knees. "Please, your majesty, have mercy," he begged. "I did what I did out of fear and ambition. I never meant for things to go this far." "Your actions have caused immense suffering," Chidima replied. "You will face justice for your deeds." Ezeki was brought back to Noma, where he was tried for his crimes. The people of Noma, who had long suffered under his manipulations, watched as justice was served. Ezeki was sentenced to life in prison, his influence and power stripped away. With Ezeki's capture, Chidima felt a sense of closure regarding her mother's death. She vowed to continue ruling with fairness and compassion, ensuring that no one else would suffer as her family had. The palace of Noma had begun to regain its former glory under Queen Chidima's rule. Prosperity returned to the lands, and the people once again felt a sense of hope. Yet Chidima's heart remained restless. She often found herself wandering the halls at night, searching for something she couldn't quite name. One evening, as she paced through the library, she stumbled upon an old, dusty journal tucked away in a hidden compartment. It was her mother's, Queen Nena's, personal diary. Intrigued, Chidima began to read, uncovering secrets that had been buried for years. As she delved into the pages, Chidima discovered a shocking revelation. Her mother had another child, a son, born in secret before Chidima's birth. The boy was sent away to protect him from the very dangers that had ultimately claimed Queen Nena's life. Chidima's mind reeled with the implications. She had a brother, an heir to the throne. But who was he and where had he been hidden? Determined to find answers, Chidima summoned Emeka and Nkechi. Together they pored over the diary, searching for clues about the hidden heir's whereabouts. In the back of the journal they found a cryptic message. "Seek the forgotten village where the river bends and the stars align. There you will find my son, the true heir." Forgotten village, Emeka mused. It must be one of the old settlements that have fallen off the maps. "We must find it," Chidima said, her voice resolute. "My brother is out there, and he needs to know the truth." Their journey took them through treacherous terrain and uncharted lands. They faced numerous challenges, from hostile tribes to wild beasts. But Chidima's determination never wavered. Each step brought them closer to the forgotten village mentioned in the diary. After weeks of travel, they arrived at a secluded village nestled by a river bend hidden beneath the canopy of ancient trees. The villagers, wary of outsiders, initially resisted their inquiries. However, when Chidima revealed her identity and the purpose of their visit, an elderly woman stepped forward. "I am Adaku," she said, her voice trembling with age. "I was Queen Nena's trusted maid. I helped hide her son all those years ago." Chidima's heart pounded in her chest. "Where is he? Where is my brother?" Adaku led them to a humble cottage at the edge of the village. Inside, a young man, tall and strong, was tending to a garden. He looked up, his eyes widening in surprise as he saw the strangers approaching. "Who are you?" he asked, his voice guarded yet curious. Chidima stepped forward, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "I am Chidima, Your sister. Our mother was Queen Nena of Noma." The young man, whose name was revealed to be Uchenna, listened in stunned silence as Chidima recounted their mother's story and the reasons for his secret upbringing. Uchenna had always known he was different, but he never imagined the truth of his heritage. "I've lived my life in hiding, never knowing why," Uchenna said, his voice filled with emotion. "But now I understand." Chidima embraced her brother, feeling a sense of completeness she hadn't known was missing. "You have a place in Anoma, Uchenna. We need you. I need you." Uchenna agreed to return to Nanoma, eager to learn about his true heritage and to help his sister restore their family's legacy. As they journeyed back, Chidima and Uchenna bonded, sharing stories of their lives and dreams for the future. Upon their arrival in Noma, the people were astonished to learn about the hidden heir. Uchenna's presence brought a renewed sense of hope and unity among the people. Chidima appointed him as her trusted advisor, recognizing his wisdom and strength. In the years that followed, Chidima and Uchenna ruled with wisdom and compassion, earning the respect and admiration of their subjects. They worked tirelessly to heal the wounds of war, investing in infrastructure, education, and diplomacy. As they walked through the rebuilt palace gardens one evening, Chidima turned to Uchenna with a smile. "We have faced many challenges together, brother," she said, "but through it all, we have remained united." Uchenna nodded, his gaze thoughtful. "Our journey has been difficult, but it has also brought us closer," he replied. "I am proud to stand by your side, Chidima." Their bond as siblings and rulers of Noma was unbreakable. Together, they had overcome adversity, forged alliances, and laid the foundation for a prosperous future. The bitter memories of war faded with time, replaced by a legacy of courage and resilience. And so, the story of Chidima and Uchenna, the fearless leaders of Noma, became legend. Their reign was remembered as a time of restoration and renewal, a testament to the enduring spirit of their people. As the years passed, Noma flourished under their rule, becoming a beacon of hope and prosperity in the region. And though their journey had been fraught with challenges, Chidima and Uchenna knew that together they had forged a kingdom worthy of their mother's legacy. Thus, the tale of the princess of a conquered kingdom came to a close, not with an end, but with a new beginning. A future filled with promise and peace for generations to come. The moral of the story of Chidima and Uchenna, the princess and prince of Noma, reflects themes of courage, resilience. Please support us by subscribe to our channel for our videos as we share more interesting stories. Share, like, and comment. Let know what you think about the story, please. Thanks for watching. See you in another mind-blowing story dropping soon. Bye for now.